D, wait for it, delightful.
I got the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I finished the latest episode of Stargirl. It's super early right now, so I might be drinking coffee during this breakdown. Sorry. Daddy needs his caffeine, all right? And let me just say right now, I really like this show. I love this show so much. This show is so good. Like, you know, say what you will about Jeff Johns. He may be problematic, you know, but this show is good. I'm sorry. So, but yeah. Before I get started on anything, before my review and breakdown, I just want to say two things. First thing, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine always get pushed to the back of the line. And this is the time where they're doing their annual bot purge and old account cleanse. And there usually is a little bit of collateral damage. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. Second thing I want to say is I'm selling merch now. So check this out. Geek What is now a clothing brand that designs unique streetwear with a geek/nerd attitude. Some of the core values of Geek What is to see the geekdom for how amazing it is, which is something I've always encouraged on this channel. Here's a look at my latest shirt that was designed by artist Patrick Walters, with my favorite design being me as a cartoon. So if you like what you see, go ahead and click on the link in the description down below. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. All right, you guys, so head over there, you know, buy something. It really helps me out and everything. If not, it's cool. I understand. So this episode was good. You know, it was a little light on action, but that's fine because we got to see the Flash, and we got to see what's his name, John Wesley Shipp play the Flash on here, and that was really nice. I enjoyed that a lot. We also got to see Starman be a dick, which was crazy. And we got to see, you know, the eventual breakup of the JSA, which I have questions about some stuff, but it's like whatevs. But I really did enjoy this episode, and I think Eclipso is a good bad guy. I don't know how this new JSA is going to defeat him, just because they're going to have to kill Cindy and everything. It's a crazy. Okay, we'll get into it. Let me start the breakdown, and I'll get into some stuff with this because I have questions, and I'm like, how are they going to fix this? My hair is all crazy. It doesn't matter. Anyways, okay, so it starts off in this weird mansion castle thingy. Although I do like this house. It's really nice anyways. And we get to this guy, and this is Gordon or whatever. He brought back the diamond from the island, from Devil Island or Diablo Island or whatever. Yeah, Diablo Island. And he's talking to Eclipso. He's like, I never should have brought you back. You know, you ruined my friends or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he says. And so he pulls out a gun because he's just going to end it all. And he's sitting there and everything. And he's looking in the mirror, and Calypso's talking to him, and he's like, you know, he's like, you could have everything you want, kind of thing. And he's like, you could have the woman that you want, that you love, and everything. Her husband just needs to go away. And he's like, I'm not going to kill him. He's like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to kill him. I'll do all the work for you. You just have to drop the gun. And so he ends up dropping the gun, and Eclipso takes him over. Like, he takes him over like he did with Cindy. Sorry, I need a little libation. Anyways. And then that's the whole process right there. So then we scoot back to, you know, town. And Beth's dad's all like, hey, there's a storm coming in. They're sending everybody home. And then back at the Stargirl house, they're preparing for the storm, and they're going to go down to the basement and everything, you know. And Stargirl, she's all like, hey, you know, me and Beth were talking, and we're not going to just sit by and just let things happen. We are going to take action, and we're going to find Eclipso, and we're going to fight him. And he's like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to do it. And she's like, listen, you guys, you don't know how you defeated Eclipso last time, and we need to stop. We can't have this inaction. You know, Rick is in jail for beating up his uncle, and, you know, Yolana is no longer talking to them. So she's like, you know, you guys don't know what you did and everything. And we find out what they did to get rid of Eclipso last time. And it's pretty crazy. So he's all, you know, he's like, just, you know, calm it down. You guys, he's like, you guys aren't ready. And we weren't ready either when it came to Eclipso, kind of thing. And so he looks over and he sees this yellow rose, and he goes back to the past, which I like seeing this. You can never get enough old JSA the originals. You can never get enough of these on the show. Like, I loved seeing them. I wish I would have saw them in action, but whatever. Anyways, so they're at the funeral of the little girl. I don't remember her name, and that's Dr. Mid-Niter, obviously not played by Elliot from E.T., who played him in the first season. This is obviously a different actor, and the woman right there, that's her mom. She's crying, obviously. And there's the JSA members. You got Johnny Thunder, and then you have Hourman, and then Starman, and then Black Cat, and then S.T.R.I.P.E. Not a very big funeral. So they're all dispersing or whatnot. And they're sitting there talking about stuff. And John Wesley Shipp shows up, the Flash. And S.T.R.I.P.E. was like, Flash and everything. And Starman's all like, S.T.R.I.P.E. not in public. And I'm all like, you know what, dude, if I was Wilson here or whatever, Patrick Wilson or whatever his name is, Pat. If I was Pat, I'd have been like, you know what, Starman, dude, I'm an adult. Don't talk to me like that. Okay, I'll say whatever I want. But so they're sitting here. And they're all bummed because, the wife is all like, you weren't there. You didn't see what he did to our little girl and everything. And, super sad. But they're all sitting there and like, what are we going to do kind of thing. And then he gets blood on his finger or whatnot. And then he sees a coffin, and it's obviously Eclipso messing with him, and it's the coffin of the little girl, and her hand comes out and everything. I thought it would be like a zombie hand. It wasn't. It was just like a little girl hand. And then Mike is in here. He's listening to Stargirl, and she's talking to Beth on the phone, and she's all like, have you heard from Yolanda? And she's okay. Yeah, me neither. She's not talking to me either. He goes into the kitchen, and it's cold. It's like, oh, it's so cold. Did somebody turn off the heat? And puts on this jacket. I like this jacket, actually. I would buy that. So then Pat is in the basement. He's cleaning up his cut because he got cut, and that's why he was bleeding. And he shoots back to this memory of this funeral. And he's sitting there talking, and they see the shade off in the distance. He's like, the shade is here and everything. And he's like, listen, he's here. He wants to talk. If he wanted to fight, he wouldn't have come like this or whatnot. So Starman goes to talk to him, and then Pat runs up there because they disappear into the shadows and everything and everything. And he can't find him. So he goes to talk. Then Mama Stargirl is driving home, and her car stops. And she's, trying to figure it all out, and it just starts to downpour, like right off the bat. And so down in the basement, he's pulling out a bunch of photos and stuff. And he's remembering back at, headquarters. And Starman shows up, and he's all like, I talked to the Shade, and he's all like, he told me how to destroy the Eclipso, how to stop Eclipso. And he's like, how do you do it? And he's like, you have to kill the host. That's how you stop Eclipso. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've read Eclipso comic books with Eclipso in it, mostly JLA comic books, the Justice League. And I don't know that much about Eclipso as far as the comic books goes. I've only seen him fight with the the Justice League. And he's a very formidable because the, magic and everything. Magic is like their weakness and everything. But so I don't know if this is true in the comic books, but it's true in the show. Okay. And so he's like, we have to kill somebody. And then Pat's all like, we can't kill anybody. That goes against our code. We can't just kill people. He's like, yeah, you're right. There has to be another way. And so he's remembering that, but then he sees the ghost of that Gordon guy, James Gordon. I don't know. Anyways. And so then Mike, he's sitting there and he's like, somebody turn off the heat and everything. And there's a knock at the door. He goes to answer it, and it's this kid. I don't remember his name. Icicle Jr. Icicle 2. And he's all like, hey, is your sister here? And he's like, yeah, she's up in her room and everything. Then Mama Stargirl, she sees Icicle 1 in her back seat. And he's all like, hey, how you doing? We got stuff to talk about and everything. And he turns all icy and everything. So he's sitting in front of the fire, and he's sitting here talking about, he's like, hey, well, how old were you when you lost your mother? And he's all like, I was, I think he said 15 or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I was 8. He's like, so you had a couple more years than I did, or 13 or something like that. He's like, you had a couple more years than I did. He's like, but your real mom left you or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he's all like, and you killed my dad, kind of thing. He's like, it was an accident. I didn't mean to. And then Mama Stargirl, he's all like, we got a lot to talk about. I wanted to make America better. And you want that? Didn't you want that? And he's all like, listen, I'm sorry, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I'm going to kill everybody in this house. He's like, there's nobody here to protect you. The dog shows up and he tries to run at him and everything, but then he icicles him. You don't see him icicle anything. Mike's all like, oh no, Buster, or whatever the dog's name is. And he's like, I'm going to kill everybody in this house. And he tries to hit him with this thing and it turns to ice and then he runs away. Then Icicle here is talking about how, he wanted to make America, better or whatnot. And he wanted to fix things and that he was like in love with her. And then the shadow shows up, or the shade, sorry, the shadow knows. The shade shows up and he's all like, what? I don't remember her name, the character, but he's all like, hey, this isn't real. Turn on the car. So she turns on the car and everything's fine. Like it's just raining. That's it. And then Mike, he's still in the Eclipso illusion, and Icicle is choking him. And then Stargirl shows up, and she puts his hand on the staff, and the staff glows, and he comes at him, and he's all like, "Hey, your boyfriend's here trying to murder me. Murdered who?" And so then Pat's in the basement, and he sees the blood on the thing, and he's trying to clean off the blood from his hands because he has blood on his hands. And he's remembering back to the JSA all come in their costumes. And so they come in and the Flash is all like, hey, we need you for a vote because there's 4 of us and we need a last person for a vote. Here's my question though. Where is Johnny Thunder? Because that's vote number 5. Okay. And then where's Dr. Midnighter? Because that's vote number 6. I'm just saying, where is the JSA? Anyways, so they come in and Dr. Our Man is all like, yeah, the Hawks couldn't beat him. And then he named some other people. I can't remember off the top of my head who all he names, but they tried to defeat Eclipso and they lost. And he named some magic people, which I'm just like, that'd have been fun to see. That's the thing about this show. I understand they can't afford it because it would be very effects heavy, but having John Wesley Shipp show up was good, but he didn't run. Like that's my whole thing. Like he's the Flash, but you didn't have him run. You just had him in the costume, which is fine. It's fine. I'm totally fine with it, and I will, keep watching because the show's so good. And Wildcat, his costume's a little cheap in my opinion. Like everybody's costume is really good, and his is like so. Anyways, so they're sitting there talking, and they're like, we need to decide what we're gonna do because he said he was gonna come after all of our families. And S.T.R.I.P.E is all like, we cannot do this. We cannot kill somebody that goes against our code. And Wildcat is all like, he shouldn't get a vote because he's not a member of the JSA. Wildcat was being such a douche. So Our Man and Wildcat, they vote yay. And S.T.R.I.P.E and the Flash, they vote nay. And so they're like, it comes down to Starman. And Pat was all like, well, then it's 3 against 2 because Starman's vote no, because he said we need to find another way. And Starman stands up and he's like, I vote yay. We're going to do it. And he's like, get the car started. He's like, no, I won't be a part of this. And he's like, get the car started. He's basically like, I wasn't asking, I was telling. And so then he's all like, he sees the ghost. And he's like, you did this to me kind of thing. Starts shooting at him, but it's obviously not real bullets and everything. And then all the other JSA members show up behind him and he's like, you did this to me kind of thing. And then he gets the staff also and he comes out of it. And then, he's all happy the dog's okay. And he's all like, we did stop Eclipso and I know how we did it. And she tells him, he tells her, but they don't tell, they show, which I liked about that. I like it when when it comes to shows like this, it's better if you show, don't tell, but sometimes you can't afford it. And I get it. It's fine. So he's sitting outside that like mansion house from the very beginning where Eclipso took over that dude, the Gordon guy, Dr. Gordon. And he's going to get out and come in, but then he decides not to. And Starman gets in and he's got some blood on his little star right there. He's like, let's go and everything. And he's got the black diamond. So he killed him. And Pat sees, this was bad. So then back there, he's all like, listen, the JSA after that, we were done. We were done after that. It broke us up. The only time we came back together is when the ISA, came back, but then they destroyed us because we weren't prepared. We weren't a unit anymore. We couldn't take them on like we could before because we were broken. They were broken. And she's like, how could you keep this from me? How could you not tell me? And I'm like, I'm sorry, honeybee, but you don't need to know everything. And also I go, Pat, why didn't you just tell her? Because yeah, and that's what the thing about all these shows is, like, nobody tells anybody anything. And yeah, and I'm like, why don't you, like, communication is key on any team, and keeping stuff from anybody is stupid, but whatever. It's like whatever. It's like Rig didn't tell him about Solomon Grundy. He's not telling about killing whatever. Yolana didn't tell her about the visions, all that stuff. They're all stupid for not telling each other. Anyways, she's like, well, what is my mom gonna think when we tell her? And he's like, I already told her. So mom comes home and she comes in and she's mad. She's like, how could you keep this from me? And they pan out. I don't know if pan is the right word, but they zoom out. And Eclipso, as the little boy, is sitting here laughing. He's like, this little kid creeps me out. I do not like him. Like, I mean, kudos to the actor. Not saying anything about the kid actor. He does, his job fine. But he's just creepy. Like he's like cute, but creepy, So, and that's the end of the episode. The thing I liked about this episode is not only did we get to see John Wesley Shipp, which I'm going to get back to in just a sec. Give me 2 seconds. Let me find that picture so we can stay on that one, because I liked seeing him. There we go. That's the good. I liked seeing the JSA together like this. It was great. I hope we have more episodes where they show past missions and we get to see them actually use their powers a little bit more, like we did in the pilot episode. Because like this stuff was good, but I just wish we would have seen, more and everything. But I liked this because it was. I liked this because we got to see a little bit of past stuff, and we got to see, a little bit more emotion from Pat, and we got to see what was going to go down, and also some stuff about Eclipso, because I don't think they've done enough with Eclipso, even though he's been like the main focus of this. But it's a lot of that is like I feel like effects heavy, and they can't afford it, which is fine. It's fine. And I'm excited for the next episode. I really am. I think it's going to be good. I think that the season so far has been good. I think even the worst episode, which I think was last week's, even though it wasn't the best episode, it was still pretty good as far as episodes go. It was the weakest one out of the bunch. But yeah, I can't wait for them to fight Eclipso and defeat him, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see how they do that. Obviously, she'll use the staff, but she's gonna have to kill Cindy. And I'm all like, I don't think that she's gonna be able to do it. And it'll just be interesting to see what they do. I have no theories on what they can do or what they're gonna do. All right, so that's my breakdown and review of this episode. Like I said, I really liked it. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys like the show. Do you like the show? Do you like, what's going to happen, all that stuff? Do you think Eclipso was a good bad guy to bring in? How do you think the Shade will fit into that? Who's your favorite JSA 2.0 member? All that good stuff. Yeah, you go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Check out my merch, and I will see you guys next week on my Stargirl breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.